Hello, and welcome to Shane's Microscope. I'm Shane, and this is my microscope. Let's take a peek. Today's sample comes from basically any horizontal surface in the house. I decided I wanted to have a look at some dust, so I got some invisible tape and collected some dust with it, and I just stuck that directly onto a slide. I collected a few samples from around the house, and I figured we could check it out. So dust is a Germanic word, and like most of the other Germanic words that remained in English, you already know what it means. Now, since I collected these samples with a piece of sticky tape and just stuck that onto the slides, we're not going to get quite the optical quality that we would get with a proper mounting medium and cover slip, but I think it'll be just fine for our investigative purposes. So what we're looking at here is the dust on top of a fan that has not yet been cleaned for the spring, so there's quite a collection of things on it. We can't really see what those things are at low magnification, so let's bump it up an objective. At a slightly higher magnification, we can start to see that this is a lot of fibers and other irregularly shaped objects, but I think we need to go deeper. So here at high magnification, we can actually see quite a bit of detail. You can see there's some, looks like dust particles, maybe a spore of some kind. We've got fibers, some little stone or something there, more fibers, and a heavily colored fiber. And you can see surrounding all of this a lot of skin cells. They look like empty plastic bags, and there are a lot of them. Maybe a disturbing amount of them. Some more fibers, and you can also see some inorganic looking things, some dirt type dust, as well as some wood looking dust, and maybe just a little bit of soot or ash. I don't know what that green thing is, but it caught my eye. Looks like a very red or pink looking fiber. This is clearly some kind of seed or spore or something. And I'm thinking these might be pollen grains. This is a different dust sample. This is from on top of one of my toy bins in a completely separate room. So this is much lower to the ground, but still on the second floor. I figured we'd check out how it's different from the top of the fan sample. Zooming in a bit, we can see a lot of fibers and some kind of crazy thing in the middle there. We're gonna have to come back to that for sure. Really zoomed in now, we can see this looks like some kind of plant piece, maybe a little bit of grass. We've got some fibers and what looks like maybe a wood chip. Maybe some kind of spore or something in amongst more skin cells. Some inorganic looking dust, as well as more fibers and skin cells. And hair. Shouldn't be any great surprise. There's a lot of hair that gets shed by mammals, and you can even see multiple layers of it. Now, I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna guess maybe something off of a grass or a grain or something. Kinda looks like the nose cone of a rocket or something. Yeah, looks neat, whatever it is. Now, here's that crazy thing, and I think this is probably a knot of fibers or potentially some kind of seed, you know, something that's supposed to be wind-borne, like a dandelion, smaller, but, you know, like a dandelion, but it looks all the world like some sort of eldritch horror that's decided to take up residence in my room. Well, it looks neat, but I'm gonna try not to think about that one too much. Why does that look like a mouth? Don't think about it. I'm thinking this is probably a piece of leaf or something, surrounded by skin cells. And this is definitely a hair. Changing the depth of focus, we can really see that cuticle pattern on there. And following it down to the end, we can see it's even got a hair bulb on it. Our third and final sample for the day comes from the windowsill near the fireplace, and we can immediately tell this has a very different distribution of particles than the others. We can even see there's a large piece of ash right there. Shouldn't come as any great surprise that occasionally some ash comes flying out of that fireplace and drifts around. And don't mind the artifacts of the sticky tape glue. It's just a necessary part of the way we collected this sample. At high magnification, we can see we've definitely got more of those ash particles, as well as some hair, very brightly colored ribbon, more brightly colored fibers. I'm gonna say that's definitely one of our human hairs, looking at the end there, the way it was cut, and I think those are some pollen grains, not too surprising from a windowsill. You'll notice there's a lot more inorganic looking things in this sample, a lot of dirt type dust, whereas the others were primarily skin cells and fibers. Here's another very brightly colored fiber in there. And I think that might be a little wood chip or something. Plenty more dirt particles. And I don't know what this thing is, but those symmetrical, identically sized holes give it a very manufactured look. I wonder if those are needle holes from like a sewing machine or something. And of course, hair. Well, I thought that was really interesting to look at the dust samples from different parts of the house. You know, they all definitely had their own distinct compositions. Alright, well, I think we'll leave it there for the day. Thanks for having a look with me. Until next time, keep on peeking.